How is everybody doing today? I have to start off by saying I did a thing today. I had to show you this. Today, I finished up my 4-year degree after this semester, fall semester, graduated from UALR, majored in web development, 4-year degree. This is the thing they give you when you shake their hand. Was able to get it with my glasses, walking across the stage. Thought that was pretty cool. And I have to thank God, first of all, for his insight and wisdom imparted to me. Got to thank my wife and kids for supporting me by understanding that I had to go to these classes so we can go to the next level. And I have to thank my family and friends for understanding that they won't see as much of me as they did in the past because I'm locking in and the grind is real. Have to start off by saying that. Now, getting to the journey, right? 4 years. I think, let me start. I got the job working there, had an associate's degree previously. And this is all freestyle. This is just pretty much my experience, totally 100%. I don't even got no bullet points. I'm just telling you off the top of my head how it went. So much other stuff I could tell you. I've probably been here talking all night, but I'm just going to tell you the journey. When I got an associate's degree from Pulaski Tech, it was an Associate of Science in networking, computer information systems networking. Worked at the ISP place for about 3 years, laid off, and worked in IT, like help desk, kind of IT specialist, those kind of positions, probably for about 5 years. And while I was working in those positions, I started to really see things for what they really were. I started to see that in order for me to really get to the next level, I'm going to have to get a 4-year degree or better. And one thing I can say, if anybody watches this, is don't doubt yourself. Everybody goes through what they call imposter syndrome, where you think, maybe I've done it, maybe I'm not good enough. I think the thing that carries me is having the irrational confidence that when the imposter syndrome tries to creep in, my, I want to say maybe ego, maybe my ego keeps that from happening. It balances it out. So what I would say is don't discount yourself. If I can do it, you can do it. And let me tell you, I'm not the most academic person in the world. I think, in my opinion, what makes me different is I understand how people work. I understand the patterns of how things work, the system or whatever. It's like, I think in analogy, it's like a game. College education is almost like it's an endurance game. It's an endurance. It challenges your endurance, especially when you're older. Being 40, started when I was probably 30 something, 37, maybe something like that. But what happened was I got a job at Euler, and this is what I mean when I tell my wife I thank her for supporting me. She had to take a pay cut to work at this place, to work at Euler. Now, when I told her this, It wasn't an issue. But we had a plan. We understood why I was doing it. I wasn't just doing it just to say, hey, I'm going to school. It was more than just doing something just to be doing it. It was a strategy involved in it. And I also knew that if I get my foot in the door, that by my skill set, education, communication, and mindset, I could figure some stuff out and move around, do whatever I need to do. So with that being said, I got the job, took it, took the pay cut, and they said you had to wait a full semester before you get a tuition discount by working there. So I had to wait another semester, but I went ahead and started the process of getting enrolled back in school. And why am I telling you this? Sometimes enrolling in a college can be the most daunting. It could be the most, what word am I looking for? It could be daunting, but if you do it step by step, it's not that bad. If you look at the whole picture, it could really kind of rack your brain, but if you do it step by step, it's not that bad. One thing that I was challenged with is the fact that when I got an Associate of Science from Pulaski Tech, and mind you, this is before they had the partnership with Euler, they was just Pulaski Tech. So a lot of the classes that I took as far as the associate major, the Cisco Academy classes, those classes did not transfer to Euler. What does that mean? It means that as far as the English and I think communication, philosophy and stuff like that, those classes transferred. But as far as major classes, I pretty much had to start over with the major class. I had to start over. So that's a challenge one I had to think about. But I knew that I had to get it done. So now you at that point in the road, it's like, do you want to pout or do you want to get mad about starting over or do you want to get it done while you got the chance? I chose to get it done while I had the chance. That's why I am the way that I am. When I talk about motivating people and really getting you to realize in life choices and decisions, is because you come to those decisions, and it's so easy just to bow out and stop. But you have to really get up and challenge yourself and say, if I got to start over, that's just what's going to happen. I'm going to get this done. So when I started, at first I was thinking about doing finance, but I think that would have been almost really starting from scratch. I stuck to what my wheelhouse was, which I'm glad I did, because it would have been really daunting trying to do all of that homework and working full time at the same time. You have to think about your circumstances as well, especially as you get older. When you're younger, you got the whole gambit to choose from. But when you're older, you got a family, you're a husband, you're a father, you're a provider. You have to think about how can I balance all of these things and produce at the same time. That has to be in your calculations. So when I did that, I seen that they had web development, and that's when I met Thomas Wallace, one of my professors, man. That guy's awesome. Love that guy, man. He's an awesome guy. I'm so glad that I took his classes because he has the real world approach of teaching web development, and I enjoyed that major because he had us taking different things. That's why I'm making content now. It was computer science classes, mass communications classes. Shout out to Kill Thornton at doing a speech today at graduation. art classes, like graphic design, had us doing all kind of stuff. I done took UI UX design classes, web development classes, editing classes, um, movie production classes, all kind of stuff. And what I want to say to the youth, man, is while you got time and while you're young, before you start really adding responsibilities to your plate, is to please get your education done while you're young. Gap years are dangerous. Don't fall for it. If you don't want to go to college, do an apprenticeship or vocation, some kind of certification, go to real estate school. If you want to do real estate, they got a real estate school. You don't have to go to college. You can go to a real estate school. Go there during the summer, right after you graduate. Do something, not nothing. Find something that you can work towards, not something that when you're working, it's not going towards anything. When you can understand that, like if you get an apprenticeship, if I work 5 years in the apprenticeship, I can take a journeyman that working towards independence in the corporate world. If I get a job in the field that I'm in and I go to school at the same time, I'm working towards my advancement instead of just working there. And after 5 years, you're still kind of in the same spot. You're linear, but you're not going vertical. You got to think about those things. So when you commit to a 4-year degree program, it's going to challenge everything about you. It's going to challenge your commitment. It's going to challenge your multitasking skills. It's going to challenge your endurance, challenge your people skills, time management, execution, all those things. You're going to challenge all of those. There were some nights I didn't want to do homework, but I had to because that's what I need to do to pass. There were some nights where I struggled. I'm sitting at the computer, I want to go to sleep, but I had to get the homework done. There were a lot of days that a lot of people or family members they just didn't see me. Out of sight, out of mind. But they knew that I was going to school, but they just didn't see me. I wasn't hanging out like I used to. There were some nights I had to kiss the wife and kids, and I had to go to class at night, 6 to 8:40. I had to go do that. That's part of the grind that people don't talk about or people don't realize. I was still able to do home duties with the family, church duties, and school, and work full-time duties at the same time. If I can do it, you can do it. Don't tell yourself what you can't do. Find the things that you can do. Staying positive is very important as an adult. So easy to go down the negative road. But the negative road is so wide and so vast, there's a lot of people on that road. It's almost like being on a freeway. But the positive road seems like that road in the country where it's narrow and it's kind of dirt and gravel. Because you have to be patient. You have to be able to have the awareness to stay on the road. But staying positive, very important. And I know this ain't gonna go viral. I'm not tripping. I just want the right person to hear it. If you like it, like, share, and subscribe. That'll be awesome. Trying to help the channel grow. Also, check out our podcast channel, CTM TV. We do the Thinking Game podcast on Thursday nights around 6:30. And then during the week, we just do some random stuff. Just pop on, go live, and pop off. But I wanted to make this to let people know. Going into 2025 and beyond, you have to find ways to increase your value as an individual. You have to. Nobody's going to give you anything. They're almost taking a lot of stuff away. The only thing to help you counter a lot of those things is your skill set. What skill set do you have that somebody's willing to pay you for? That's what it's all about. And even when you have the skill set, you got to have the communication and the mindset to get in the door in order to show your skill set. And when you think about a 4-year degree, you have to find something that works in the job market or wherever you live or wherever you plan to live. I know what I've seen here in Arkansas, there's a slew of fields. Please don't take this as like gold. There's a slew of fields out there. Financial, information technology, like I say, where I'm working at, higher education, medical, real estate. I'm planning on doing some other things. We'll talk about that toward the end. But I chose information technology. That's what field I'm in. But there are other fields. But the earlier that you choose it, the better strategy you can make and the better chance you have to advance. You don't have to wait till you like me to go to school in your late 30s. You can start when you're younger and get it done. Let me know in the comments what you think or why or what would you like to hear me talk about as far as going to school. But I know the 4-year journey was a stretch. It's not hard. The only thing that makes it hard is challenging yourself to do things when you don't feel like doing it. For me, that's what it was for. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it, especially as you get older, but you have to do it though. How do you fight through when you don't feel like doing it? That 5-word phrase, I don't feel like it, is so dangerous. That's what you have to fight against as you become an adult. I don't feel like it. When you can find ways to get past that, that is what the difference is. And for me, that was what it was for me. I don't feel like it. I had to fight past it. I do feel like it. I want to be consistent. I want to stay positive. I don't want to go down a negative road. I've been down a negative road too long in my 20s. I got tired of being down a negative road. And I'm telling you, as a 40-year-old, you have to go against the negative and stay in the positive. So much negative stuff out there now, but stay in the positive. Education matters. Somehow we tricked ourselves to think that we don't need education, which is weird, but you do need education in something. You may not want to go get a degree, but you got to get something. 30,000 is not enough now going into 2025. Kids can't even move out on their own on making that much money. And nowadays, you really don't even want a roommate unless you know that person. And a lot of times, you really don't know people like you think you do. You mess around and be living with a serial killer, don't even know it. So, kiddos, my young bulls, please go legit, get your education, endure the journey. And man, let me know. I do a series talking about dealing with teachers. Doing a series saying how classes go. It's a pattern sometimes. And a lot of times now, especially now, if you just do the work, do your work, turn in your homework, and build a rapport with the teacher, you'll pass the class. You will pass the class. They're not trying to fail you. The only people I've seen that fail is the people that didn't want to do anything. I mean, absolutely nothing. And you'll fail. But if you do the work, build a rapport with the teacher, and do the homework and the quizzes and stuff, you'll pass the class. You'll pass. I'm telling you will. Some of the classes, I didn't even do all the work in like I should have. I missed a couple assignments. But having a rapport with the teacher making sure, especially when the class first start. When you dealing with a class when it first start, you want to start strong and turn in those assignments so you don't be playing catch up the rest of the year or the semester. That's what you got to think about. Strategy. How do I start strong so if something come up, if I need to miss an assignment, I won't be behind the 8 ball. Like, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not trying to be like cum laude or whatever the thing, summa cum laude. When you're an adult, you really don't have a lot of time on your hands of what it takes to be cum laude or summa cum laude, whatever they call it, man. When you're like top of the class, is you can do it, but it's a very difficult incline to run up. And I'm not saying you can't do it. Everybody's different. But I'm saying I just couldn't do it based on working full time, family man, other things I had, commitments I had going. And one of my things is when I'm get done with this education stuff is to go back and give insight to the young kids in the city. Because for me growing up, the things that I think that were lacking, and let me know in the comments if I'm off, but information and insight on these different things about life that people don't talk about. They talk about the broad things like go to school, talk about the broad things like get a job, but what about career development? What about individual development? What about your spiritual development? Those little detailed things that kind of coincide with your education, your career development, and working on yourself as an individual, become better. And that's one of my things. That's why I make the content. I want to give you that information to kind of fill that gap and get you to understand that life is real when you become an adult. It's not scary, but if you make good decisions, you will get ahead. But it takes a little bit. It's not a sprint. It's a Lego by Lego. And you're like stacking Legos, Lego by Lego. So, completed a milestone. I think they'll be sending the degree in the mail, but they give you the little holder. Awesome journey. And so what's next? What's next on the milestone list? This is how my brain works. When you complete a milestone, you got to ask yourself, what's the next milestone? In the past, I fell in that trap. When I got my associate's degree, I stopped. I thought that was enough, but it was not enough. I am going to go down the path of trying to get an MBA and a law degree. It's called a concurrent degree, MBA and law degree. That's my next milestone. I have to study like nobody's business for it to take this LSAT because of the strategy that you need that you have to do in order to get a high enough score to where you can possibly not only get admitted, but get scholarships at the same time. I don't want to go out of state. I want to do everything here. That's where I'm from. I'm from Little Rock. I believe that you can make it in Little Rock. You just got to know where you're going. You got to have a strategy. It's not just willy-nilly. But that's just my opinion. That's me. Hey, let me know in the comments what you think. I don't know if I ran it too long or not, but definitely want to thank, like I said, God, wife, kids, family, my brothers, Wolfpack, for allowing me to go through the grind. Like I said, a lot of people haven't seen me in a while. I got to go around, talk to my bros, man. It's been a minute trying to get the grind out the way. And that's what's next, guys. Get this MBA/law school. And a lot of times, I'll say this before I get out of here. A lot of times the things that people think about you that's bad, sometimes those be the things that really could take you to the next level. but you don't have enough information to know that those things are natural gifts. You just don't know you're not using it the right way. So that's why it's important to really work on your spiritual self, your individual development, so you can know about you, to know and find out where does those talents and those natural gifts really excel in. You build around your gifts, you increase your chances of success. So with that being said, this is Mike Motivation. I completed a milestone today. Thanks for watching. Check out the clips I had with the Ray-Bans. I did it right when I was about to walk across stage. Hit it, recorded it. One of my cousins thought I had a GoPro. Like, no, I did that with my glasses. And also, I will be having the Ray-Ban Meta glasses coming in soon, the square versions. Do a review on that. But thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody for the support. Even on the clips that y'all liked on Facebook, I appreciate all of that. And with that being said, I am signing out and I am going to bed because I'm about to crash out. Long day, guys. But awesome ceremony. Definitely going to keep going. If I can do it, you can do it. Bingo. I'm out.